All right, we're back. Today we're going to work on the real-time stock scanner. I realize the title of the stream is not going to match up. Um, that's okay. I'll fix it in a minute. Um, I probably won't do a lot today because I didn't get great sleep and I think I'm a little sick. So probably won't do a lot today. I am going to go over like a basic plan. Maybe do a little coding, but after the plan, I might just end the stream, but we'll see. Okay, so let's do a plan. So I was looking at a couple places to get the data. I realized for what I need, I think Alpaca, since it's cheaper than the other option, will be best. So the data I need doesn't need to go back that far, and they have WebSockets that are a little bit cheaper. All right, so the plan, I'm gonna draw it in Paint with a mouse, so it might not look great. I don't have any, uh, I'm not gonna be using a tool to draw boxes or anything, and I don't have a digitizer or whatever to draw on the screen, but hopefully it looks okay. So there's gonna be a front end, and this will communicate. I think I talked about it before. It's gonna communicate with a backend service. It's either gonna be uh, AppSync based AppSync. It's going to be possibly a bunch of, or just a Lambda that, an AppSync. We'll use WebSockets. Um, I'm not sure how that works exactly. There's another option which is API Gateway. API Gateway. API G. I believe they have some sort of WebSocket thing. So these are things I need to look into. The Lambda will be just HTTP request. So I don't know if this is a good option, but it's something to think about. And they're going to get the real-time data, real-time in quotes. So um, either it's probably going to be every minute, and maybe this will be adjustable on the front end. I don't know. But by default, every minute they'll get updates based on their filters, what stocks are coming in that meet their filters, or the front end. You're going to get that. And so that's going to happen every minute. So every minute, either the front end is going to make, all the front end users will make HTTP requests to a Lambda to get that information, or it'll be connected somehow with WebSockets, and maybe that'll, if that's scalable and fast. So those are the two options that I can think of so far. Um, the other one, so there's some other parts. So I'm going to need historical data. I'll draw a line here. It's kind of separate thing. And I'll need to have a program, very basic, that I'm going to put I for initialize the data. So this is going to be basically a program that will just look at the historical data on Alpaca for all the stocks and get it and store it in a database. So that will just interact with a database. And that database is going to be, I believe, the best option right now is going to be DynamoDB. DynamoDB because uh, it can it can scale well and it's fast. I think there's probably some better options that are faster for sure, but I'm not sure if they'll be as easy to scale or as cheap to scale. So anyone watching has any ideas on that, let me know. Send me a message or leave it in the comments. But DynamoDB is going to be where the stock data, the raw data, is going to be stored. So this program is just going to initialize that, very basic. Going to grab the stock data from the market API, put it in the database. And then another program will, there's gonna be two more. The other one will be responsible for connecting to the Alpaca API through WebSockets. And this is actually what's gonna make it real time. So let me go back to this, for example, Node, and this is just their API. You can access it just through WebSocket protocol, but they also have a SDK that you can use. And this is the thing that needs to be fast. Um, so I might not use Node for this. I might actually just use another language, perhaps C++, Java, I don't know, Rust, maybe Scala, maybe Go, I don't know. Anything that is fast enough. And most of those languages I don't know that well, to be honest, but whatever works. I'm probably going to start with Go and see how that goes. Maybe Node as well. We'll see. Maybe it'll be fast enough. I don't know. But what that's going to do is make a request, or it's going to set up a WebSocket connection, and that is, what am I saying? Okay, make sure. Oh, here we go. Example code. This will just use this data stream thing, which allows you to connect to the API and get streaming data. I think it comes in every minute too. So that's why it's not going to be real time, right? So the data is going to come in. I don't know exactly how that comes in. It's going to come in and needs to be processed. So it can't be processed immediately. So there's going to be some delay in processing. That's why that part needs to be as fast as possible. And then store the process data in the database. So that is going to be WebSockets, I believe, is the best way to do that. And you can subscribe to individual stocks or any stock, um, or all stocks that they have available, and that's how you would do that. So that's that, and that's going to collect the data and process it. And I'll get back to what I mean by process in just a second. And by the way, I just want to mention really quick, last stream, uh, after I'm done going over this plan, I'm just going to go over, I figured out what was going on, why this was not clearing, this little example app, this exercise one was not clearing. So I am going to go over that after I go over this plan. Okay, so the WebSockets, oh, I should probably check my audio too. Testing 1, 2, testing. Hello, hello. Hold on. Just gonna make sure. Testing. Yeah, okay, it's working. Thought for a second I wasn't recording audio for 10 minutes straight, but we're good. All right, so that's the WebSocket part. It needs to be as fast as possible. It needs to process as fast as possible, and then it needs to store in the database as fast as possible. What would be ideal is if I could have one server or one machine, whatever, in the cloud that would do the processing, and it would have all the data in memory, and it would give that back to the users, the process data. I don't think that solution, at least as far as I know, the way I know how to do things, would be scalable. So unfortunately, I don't think that would work. But that would be probably pretty expensive to get to work well. Um, at least to scale it up, as far as I know. But so I need to process this data, put it back in the database as fast as possible. So that's this part. WebSocket, whatever, connection to Alpaca, and then put it back in the database. So we have the initial data that's coming in that's going to run anytime. And that could also fill in any missing data that we need that didn't come in through this at some point. And then there's probably going to be another program. It could be part of the same one up here, but I'll just put cleanup, cleanup. So this will I don't want to store unlimited data in the database, right? So the data I want to store, like for 1 minute candles, it'll go back. So I think there's 8 trading hours in a day. I'm not sure. So that would go back 8 times 60 times 5. We'll say, and that actually 1 minute candles, the smaller the candle size, the shorter time frame you have to go back. So at least for what I'm trying to do. So that would probably only go back like 2 days or something like that. Um, what you can do to eliminate some duplication of data is you can like resample that data, 1 minute data to be 5 minute data to be whatever. But I think that could add to some processing. I don't know. That might not be what I'm gonna do. I'll probably just get the all the data and and in whatever format they come in, like 5 minute, 1 hour. So I want to get 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, and then 1 day. I think are the time frames I'm going to get on the data. And then so like for the 1 minute, it'll go back 2 days. For the 5 minute, it'll go back, I don't know, 5 days. Same with the 15 and 30, the 1 hour, probably the same. And then the day can go back maybe 30 days or something. So actually, now that I'm thinking about that, a lot of those would be probably 5 days back. So that could be definitely a case of where I could resample and save some space, but I don't think it's a big deal. I'll have to look into that. Another thing I can do, if I'm worried about this being slow, not fast enough, is I could have many of these. Um, there is one small problem with that, is I couldn't use this to get all the stocks available. What I'd have to do is first get a list of all the stocks that are available that I care about, I guess. Um, which could probably be a better idea anyways. I have to maybe keep that list updated. So some sort of program that runs it makes sure that list is updated. And then I could have a bunch of these. So I could have, a few of these in the background, right? Yeah. What's up? How's it going? Yeah, paint. I said at the beginning of the stream too, like I'm lazy. I'm not gonna I don't feel like drawing boxes and stuff in I don't know, whatever people use these days. And then writing in them, I'm just gonna draw with my mouse. Um, okay, so that's that. And then this WebSocket can Excalidraw, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one before. Um, so let's see. What tool is it that I use to draw? It's not a pencil. Oh, it's a brush, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Excalidraw is nice. I haven't used it, but I've seen videos of people using it and stuff. Um, what else? So yeah, this WebSocket thing. So instead of getting all of the stocks at once, and sorry, the title, by the way, is not correct. I haven't changed it yet, but the stream probably won't be too long. So to be honest, I'm just gonna probably leave it as is and then change it later when I upload it to YouTube. But so yeah, so I can't use this to get all the stocks. If I use this method where I'm using multiple of these, whatever you want to call them, servers, connections to the Alpaca API. So it could be like over here, I guess, and I could connect to it as well. And yeah, yeah, exactly. I do actually, I do think it's actually important to to make your title what it is. But if I was gonna do a longer stream, I'd definitely change it. Um, yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, okay, so yeah, so this can scale up, and again, this would if I'm worried about the speed of this, I'm going to test it first with one connection to Alpaca that pulls the data, stores in the database, see how fast that is. If it's really fast, and whatever, I don't care. If it's kind of slow, and I'll try a few of these, and then break up all the available stocks, um, and give one of them a list, another one a list, and then have those pull in the data separately. And I could also do that with the processing of the data. So the processing of the data can happen. So if I'm using one, it's really fast, but the processing is slow, then I'll have like multiple processors that are processing the data. If I have one if I have multiple of these anyways, because I find that grabbing the data is slow, then I could just throw the processors in here maybe, or just have the processors separate. I don't know. So these are things I need to does it scale? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. This is gonna be like the most complicated thing I've ever made. Um, so we'll see. Um, so yeah, the processors, what those will do is they'll look at the data, update it's in the database, and they will, depending on how I have this set up, I don't know. It's gonna take a lot of work to figure this out, kind of, but they will basically take the raw data, and then whatever the user's filters that they set on the front end, those can be probably stored in the same database, maybe a different database. I don't know. We'll figure that out. And then those filters, is there any raise conditions? Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. Um, those filters would be stored in some database. And then these processors could run through that data that's in the database that has the filters, figure out which ones that are in common, right? So it doesn't have to like do the same one, or that could be as part of the storing in the database. It just, when you store in the database, if it's a duplicate, it doesn't store it. And then the processors will just process that. So if one user wants to have a moving average that's above 5 or whatever, it's just a random number. Um, and then another user has a moving average below 10. And this could be like a 5-minute moving average, and this could be like a 10-minute moving average or whatever. I'm not gonna have 10-minute data, but yeah. Um, so those will be the types of filters. It's gonna be like just very basics. It's gonna be moving average. It's gonna be whatever this TA lib gives you. TA lib Python. I'm not gonna click on that right now, but I will look. I'll look at it in a minute. Just tell me what it is. TA lib. So whatever stuff that this gives you, I plan on using this in the processing. So there's different functions, and maybe not all the functions, but it's safe. Okay. I'm gonna open it up on the side if I can. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've seen this actually. Right. Right. That is me. I feel like that sometimes when I'm looking at certain designs, and now I'm kind of doing the same thing. But like I feel like certain designs, like you could just do that's very basic and way more basic that it's laid out and very synchronously when people have all this kind of like scale in mind, and they have like 2 users on their app or whatever, which mine will be too, but anyways. Okay, so the users will have moving averages, filters, they'll have, I don't know, so I'm not gonna have like a crossover, like a moving average crossover, because they could do that themselves. They could say if the 5 MA is greater than um the 5MA is greater than some number, and then the whatever one they want to cross is equal to or whatever. I'll have to figure that out. So they can code those filters in through, drop downs, text, whatever. I'm not sure how that's going to look. And then all those functions will be processed in these processing nodes, or maybe it'll be just one, I don't know. But and those will be stored back somehow in the database. And then that will, let's see, the database. And then there'll be some way of notifying or signaling that the data is ready to go, and maybe that'll just happen on a user basis. Maybe that'll happen on altogether. I think it makes more sense to happen on a user basis, and then that will come back through WebSocket, either through AppSync or front end. And this is probably actually not. This is actually kind of oversimplified, maybe what it would do, but yeah, that's just my basic thoughts right now on it. It's not going to be easy to make something that's real time with a lot of data. I'm going to have some restrictions. The main restriction is going to be I'm going to have to restrict the filters, right? I can't just have user give tons of different filters. I don't think. And then I'm going to have to restrict the data that's coming back. So it's not going to be like every stock that meets their criteria. If like 100 stocks meet their criteria, maybe only the top 20 would come back, or the top 10 or whatever, something like that. So that's a basic plan. I'm sure I'll find a lot of issues with it as I'm building it out and testing it. It's going to be tough, but yeah, that is the basic plan. So that's that. And then let me see. That's Sura. It gives you instant REST APIs on new and existing to your data and get APIs in under a minute. Maybe. Build modern apps and APIs 10 times faster. Built in authorization. Is it? Maybe. I'll have to look into this. We'll bookmark that. Thank you. Multi-tenanted. Like, I don't know. Multi-tenanted. Multi-tenant, single instance of software and supporting infrastructure. Yeah, it is going to be multi-tenant in the sense of um well, I'm not sure. Multi-tenant is a single instance of the software. Kind of in pieces of it. I think ideally that would be the way to go. I just don't know how I could scale that out easily. So, unfortunately. Um, so I'm not exactly sure what that means, but from what I could tell, it will have some aspects of multi-tenancy and some aspects of not, I guess. Um, I'm not sure. I would say mostly not multi-tenanted, multi-tenancy. But maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. What else? So, um, that'll be tough. I haven't written any code yet, except for this, just a very basic WebSocket example I copied from somewhere. That's all I have. And I did do some stuff on the front end with TA Live in my other iteration where I realized it's not going to work really because you'd have to have the data. So that's not going to be ideal. But we'll see. So I guess one thing, and I said I wanted to get to this at the end of the last stream, I did a little demo app. Someone asked a question, and there was an issue where data was not being cleared out of this demo form or demo app form. The reason for that was I had this reference, or not reference, sorry. I had this initial state that was a variable. It was outside of the app function, and I do not have the structure clone. I just had this, so it set the initial state based on that, and then it also can look like this basically. Oops. It looked like, dang it, why did that not, there we go. All right, it looked like this. Let me see if it's still doing that thing. Maybe it was when I had multiple. Yeah, so if you have multiple boxes, it was like leaving that last one. Um, and the reason is I think that it's still referring to the same object and the same array um, every time it initializes or resets the state. So one thing you could do is make it into a function that returns an object. There's a few things. I'll go over a few things you could do. And the thing I like the most is I'll show at the end. So this object, if you use that, that could work, right? You could also just throw the object in here, which I'll get to that in a second. Um, so this format, what was it? Get form initial state. So you could do this. This is one way to do it. And I think that should work. So we have a function that is being called that creates a new object. I believe this will work. Maybe I didn't test it. So that works. That's one way to do it. Another way is to just throw that object in here because every time it re-renders, this object will be recreated. So if we throw it in here and we do get form initial state, and then throw it down here as well, that should work. So that works fine. And then the last couple ways, so I actually didn't know this. The spread operator only clones the first level of like it creates a copy and only the first level will be like new, and it'll still keep references to like nested things like this array. So if you do this spread like this spread operator like this, it actually won't work right if you're using this up here because of what I said. So what you would have to do is um, get rid of this and this. So what you'd have to do, let me make sure it's not working. That is actually working for some reason. I don't know, that wasn't working before, but that's weird. Oh, I'm not using form initial state. What am I using? Form initial state. Oh, I'm using this. There we go. I didn't realize I left that commented or whatever. Uncommented. That's still working too. Oh, there we go. So that's an issue. Okay. So that's not what you want to do either. One thing you could do if you wanted to do it that way is you'd also have to create a brand new array as well on the exercises, and that will make sure that reference is not kept. But another way you could do it is using structured clone. So this will actually create a deep copy of the object. So that's one way to do it as well. I'm just showing a few different ways I found. I honestly didn't know that the spread operator did not make a deep copy. I probably should know that, but I did not know that. So yeah, this will work every time. I'll just show one example, but so that'll work. And then the last one, which I think is the best option, really, is and also you could just throw this object, the plain object literal in here as well and down there. That would be fine. It basically works the same way as this kind of. Um, and then the last actual option, which I was talking about last time, that I think is better than all of this, would be to just don't use a, what is it called? Don't use a controlled form. Like, don't have these inputs be controlled. So you could remove onChange, you could remove value from all of these. OnChange. I'm actually going to comment those out. I might want this for later for some reason. So onChange, value, onChange, value, onChange and value. So you remove all those, right? And then you just have refs to each of those. And the refs, so you do like, let's see, where's the state? Did I get rid of it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so here's the state. I mean, you could throw it wherever, but you do a use refs, you do like const, uh, uh, what is it, title ref equals use ref. You can pass it null if you want. Then down here, for example, where's the title? Title, you could have ref, not there, not there. The inputs, ref equals title ref, like that. What's wrong here? Did I do something weird? No? Ref equals title ref. So you could do that, title ref, and then that would, and then from when someone submits the form, all you need to do is get the value of that. So where's the on submit? Handle form submit. So you can do console.log title ref, for example, dot current dot value, I believe. And then you could not have to deal with that, all that other logic of this update form, all that crap. You can just get rid of it, right? Let me see if this is working. There's an error, obviously. Use ref is not defined. That's an easy one to fix. Use ref. Okay. Still having an error. Form data is not defined. Form data. Where is that? Oh, let me just get rid of all this. I can't get rid of that though. Let me just comment these functions out. I mean, if it's still not working, I mean, I'll just stop there and you kind of get the idea, but okay. Actually, that was grayed out, so that shouldn't even have done anything. Form data is not defined. All right, I'm not gonna continue with that, but basically something like that, and then you could just get that data. I think you could even do like a ref on the form itself, so you can go like ref equals form ref, and then you could do like ref in here. I believe you could do like console.log form ref dot current dot form data or something. I think there's a way to get form data. Form data HTML. Form data. There's a way to get form data from form. I've done it before, I just don't remember. But yeah. So that's probably a better way. I'd have to like fix up the code, remove all those references to form data or whatever, but I don't want to deal with that right now. So that's how you could deal with that. I think that's a better solution in a lot of cases than using the controlled form. If you actually do need to control the form, like for an example, I had a form, the last thing I was working on, where it wouldn't let you type anything but regular A, B, C, D, E, F, G uh, characters, letters, and um, and then that you would need a controlled component, right? Because you're actually using it to do some sort of uh, not allowing certain characters and not allowing other characters to be typed. There's probably a way to do that in HTML correctly. I don't know. I haven't looked at that kind of stuff for a while. Hey Gina, how's it going? Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I am going to probably I started the stream not too long ago. I'm probably going to be ending it pretty soon, to be honest, because pretty tired, not feeling great. I'm a little sick, so probably not going to take too long. Um, yeah, let me come back to see if there's any other planning I could do, and then I might just stop there and just call it a night. Short stream. There was one other thing I want to talk about. So, SolidJS, I've been looking into that. Looks pretty good. Um, and I might consider using it on the stock scanner front end part. Um, because I'm looking for speed, although for the stuff that I'm going to be displaying, I could probably use anything, really. Plain JavaScript would probably be the fastest if I'm doing it correctly, but really it doesn't matter. I could probably use React or anything, and that'd be fine based on the data that's coming in. The speed will be happening on the back end. The front end will just have some basic data that needs to show, especially if I'm only doing like allowing only 20 symbols to come back and show. Could use anything. But that being said, I kind of wanted to mess with solid, so I might use that, but we'll see. Still haven't decided on that. What can we close out? I think I might be done. Oh, I had these tabs open too. Object create, object assign. I think you might be able to use one or both of those to create copies as well, but I think they might be shallow copies. I didn't look into it too much. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna close that. Oh, I had this open. Yeah, the spread operator makes deep copies of all the data if the data is not nested. When you have nested data in an array or an object, the spread operator will create a deep copy of the topmost data and a shallow copy of the nested data. So that was the issue I was having before. Or I actually wasn't even using the spread operator, but that also was an issue using the spread operator. So, okay. Um, yeah, I think I might stop there. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Not really. I'm gonna close this. Um, I guess I'm gonna think about the WebSocket connection. So I do want something that is gonna mock stock scanner alpaca mock server. So this is actually I'll want probably two things to test some of this stuff out. Since alpaca is not running all the time, I'm assuming. I actually haven't tested that out yet. Maybe they do have some fake data that's coming in at any time and you can test it out. But the stock market's not open now, so and I can't most likely do this project while it is open. So I think I'll need to create some sort of mock thing that sends back data through WebSockets to like mock this alpaca for what I'm doing. So that's what this is. I also want a mock thing for the data that's going to come back from the API. Actually, I could probably just do that, not mock that out at all, right? Yeah, I don't need to mock that because I actually own all that stuff. So yeah, that's fine. So, but I need a alpaca mock server. Although before I even do that, like I said, I need to check that it does not already give that functionality. Maybe we could do that now or look into it. I'll just do a quick search on that. So alpaca mock data. Paper trading. You can reset and test your algorithm as much as you want using free real-time market data. Okay. Real-time stock market pricing. How do you test WebSocket? Here we go. Here we go. Glad this guy asked this question. I am playing with the WebSocket streaming data. How could you do testing after market hours when there's no data from the WebSocket? That's the question I have. What do you mean? What do you mean playing with the WebSocket? What? Do you mean this package or that one? Um, Alpaca Trade API Python. If you mean this package, Backtrader, you have a backtester which allows you to run tests. So, right. So this is not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to run tests on past data, although that's another project I'm working on the side, but that's not what I'm trying to do. There's no way to currently simulate data outside market hours. Okay, that sucks. Is this guy part of Alpaca? I don't know. Probably not. Because he would probably have like or maybe not. I mean, usually you see guys will have like where they work, but that doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't work there. Sorry about the confusing question. I mean the Alpaca Trade API. I like your Backtrader API, but I cannot run PaperTrader with Alpaca Backtrader API. Even though I use the sample code, it just pulls the streaming data, and then I got a warning to wait 3 seconds for more data and then stopped. Oh, what? Really? Hold on, but I cannot run PaperTrader with Alpaca Backtrader. This is actually, to me, more confusing than his last question. His last question made sense. I don't know what he's saying here, to be honest. It's just pulled the streaming data and then got a warning to wait 3 seconds for more data and then stopped from this. I don't know. I'll have to see what he means when I test it myself. I'm thinking to build a simple mock class to simulate the WebSocket streaming using historical data with an order handler for testing. Oh, let me see. Let me look at this guy. So he has a blog, huh? Let's see. Systems architect. What? Oh, maybe he does work for Alpaca. Okay. Well, he at least writes articles for Alpaca. We know that. Advanced WebSocket data streams in Python. Linear regression for mana-based trading strategy using Zipline Trader. Okay. How old is this? It's not that old. Interesting, interesting. All right, I'll have to come back to that. Let me open this actually. I don't think I want to use Python. I don't think it'll be fast enough, but maybe. I don't really know. Showing you, okay. I read your blog. Okay, so I was actually thinking on using a backup proxy agent to create a mock server to simulate data for testing. The issue with that is writing a wrapper for mock orders. Okay, I don't care about the orders, but based on this discussion, it is 2 years old, basically. I don't think that they have what I'm looking for. Let's keep going. For Alpaca Proxy Agent, could you please share some code pointers or hints about how to add such a mocking layer? This guy's pretty nice. I'd like to build a mocking layer that could send mock orders to the subscribers of the proxy agent, and whether it's sending reorders. Okay, such a tool can allow us to test our strategies after the market is closed. Quotes, general trades, bars. Proxy agent could be used for mocking WebSocket data. It can't be used to mock user actions. Wait a second. Alpaca allows users to open one WebSocket but has how to run multiple algorithms on Alpaca. This is a project to help users of Alpaca to execute more than one data WebSocket connection against their server. Okay. Right now you can only connect to one WebSocket with your user. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's actually going to stop me from part of the plan I had earlier where I said I'll have multiple WebSockets connected to Alpaca. But possibly this thing will help you do that. So, has this been updated recently? A year ago? 2 years ago? So how does this help you though? So basically, it's like a middleman where I don't get it. Logo proxy service. I mean, that seems like some sort of, if they allow that, why are they allowing that? I don't know. Let's look at this guy's repositories. Whatever. Developer first. Okay, whatever. Where were we at? Alpaca proxy agent. Oh, we were here. You could do a mock for both, but it's not. It's only for stream data. Greetings, I have a backtesting harness for my bot that does exactly this. It seems like you will want to use polygons as historic trays as seen here. Load it all into a list, start a bin, and run it in a to WebSocket. That way you can abstract. I guess that's one thing I could look at. That could change my plans. Probably don't need to look at it today, but I will. I can look at how many connections you can make, because maybe that's old and you can make multiple now. So real-time data, this helps receive the most. Once a connection is established and you have successfully authenticated, you can only connect one concurrent connection is allowed. So it's not clear. I mean, they say one connection up here, but they don't say how many connections down here. I'm guessing there's only one connection. I mean, I could just test that, see if it lets me. But I'll have to test that during the day, I think. Oh, maybe I could test it later. I just won't get any data, but we can see if it connects. Status messages can be used to identify. Alright, none of this I care about right now. Um, hmm. Let me look at Polygon. Polygon. I'm kind of worrying about a problem before I even have the problem, but I really don't want to do any coding right now, so. And I'll be ending stream pretty soon. Docs, WebSocket docs. What? Why does it skip all the way down there? Am I logged into this? Oh, I am logged into this. As my API key showing. That's great. It's fine though. It's a free API key. WebSocket API. Here we go. Wonder if they tell you in pricing concurrence. How about connection? Probably a ton of those. Maybe not. Polygon, concurrent, web, socket, connection. Each account comes with access to one simultaneous WebSocket connection per cluster. I mean, so, you could buy extra connections. That's good to know. So there is that. Um, hmm. I guess that's a solution. Like if I need to buy more, I could. Um, but right now I'm just going to be testing anyway. So real-time data. So to get real-time data here at all, you need to pay 200 a month, as far as I can tell. Real, yeah, that's a lot for me anyways. And then real-time data, so Alpaca data, their pricing is pricing. Oh, it's down here. Their pricing is only 99 for the real-time data, and you also get real-time data for 30 symbols. So while I'm testing, that could be good enough, I guess. It's 99 a month. I'm not sure if you can buy extra connections like you can with Polygon. Where was that search? Polygon, Steel Paca. I saw that thing that said one earlier, but let's see. Running multiple strategies, need to connect to the market data. Is there a subscription plan? Oh, interesting. Okay. So according to this guy, that doesn't work anymore. Wait, what? The limited plan will allow for multiple calls, but a single connection. Okay, so this guy's saying unlimited calls, a single connection. And this guy's saying, is that correct? When I try a second connection, it never works. And then he says, yes. Are you getting any errors when you try to make that? What? Am I reading this wrong? The unlimited plan will allow for multiple calls, but a single connection. I don't know. I don't get that. Um, I have the unlimited plan and I'm experiencing the same issue. I'm not getting any particular error that allows me to address the issue. Okay. Apparently you cannot have multiple. Let's see if there's any answers down here. I think after I read this thread, I'm gonna be done for the day or yeah, for the night. Same issue, it'd be great to run multiple. So this guy's complaining about 3,500 stocks. Wow. I think I'm good. I don't think I'd want any more stocks than that. I think the other ones will be like not even worth looking at if there's more than that. But anyways, there seems to be a limit of, well, maybe he's not complaining, but yeah. If you try to open a second connection and stream batches of tickers, the second connection returns an error. It does not seem possible to stream all NASDAQ tickers using a single unlimited account. How old is this? 21. I mean, it makes sense. I don't think they would allow multiple connections. Ah, this is interesting. This person seems to know their stuff, and they're saying the data is off, which is not good. But this is also a year old, and I don't know. That's it. So, anyways, I guess next time I won't be streaming this. I'll be streaming the Asteroids game. But next time I work on this, I guess what can I work on? I guess I could work on a mock server. Um, Now I'm not sure if I want to use Alpaca, but I don't think there's a better choice because it's cheaper. It's like half the price normally, and testing is free. But then again, this is like live testing, which I don't really care about because I have the mock server I'm gonna make. So, um, hmm, I don't know. I'll have to think about which one I'm gonna use, but I could always switch over, but I feel like there'd be a decent amount of work to switch from one to the other. I don't think they're returning the same format. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it won't be too bad. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, I didn't do any real coding this stream, but yeah, next time I should start um, on the Asteroids game, Asteroids clone, which I've already started. And let me see. Let me look at that really quick. The Asteroids clone is called Space Game. Um, how much do I have here? This was done 4 years ago. I have a rock, ship, game state, interfaces, entity properties. All right, I'll look at that next time and see, get it set up at least and see what I can make progress on there. And yeah, it's kind of a slow start to all these projects, but that's kind of always how it is. And then it gets the momentum builds a little bit, and they start getting more interesting. But anyways, thanks for watching, and see you next time.